Kirche wird am allerwenigsten gebeten, weil die ein Pfarrer ja das für unmodern halten. Ja.
Demonic possession. Is it real? Or is it a form of mental illness? Although demonic possession has been widely believed to be true throughout many religions for centuries, could new insight into mental health explain this strange phenomenon? Today, we'll be looking at some real-life exorcism cases which terrified the world. Don't forget, if you want to support smaller YouTube channels, please hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you. Number 1. Ronald Doe. In the late 1940s, in the United States, priests of the Roman Catholic Church performed a series of exorcisms on an anonymous boy. The boy was documented under the name Ronald Doe, or Robbie Mannheim. The 14-year-old boy was the alleged victim of demonic possession, and the events were recorded by the attending priest, Raymond Bishop. These recordings served as inspiration for the film, The Exorcist. Ronald was born into a German family and was the only child in a house full of adults. His aunt, who was a spiritualist, introduced Ronald to the Ouija board after he expressed an interest. After his aunt died, the family started to experience strange noises, furniture moving on its own and objects such as vases, flying or levitating when the boy was nearby. The family turned to their pastor for help. Ronald spent the night at the pastor's home for observation, and the pastor claimed that things started moving on their own in his house too. The pastor advised the boy's parents to see a Catholic priest. According to the traditional story, Ronald then underwent a number of exorcisms. Edward Hughes, a Roman Catholic priest, conducted an exorcism on Ronald at Georgetown University Hospital. During the exorcism, the boy allegedly slipped one of his hands out of the restraints, broke off a bed spring, and used it as a weapon to slash the priest's arm. The family traveled to St. Louis, where Ronald's cousin contacted one of his professors at St. Louis University, priest Raymond Bishop. Bishop reached out to one of his associates, William Bowdern, and together they visited Ronald in his family home. They allegedly observed a shaking bed, flying objects, the boy speaking in a guttural voice, and exhibiting an aversion to anything sacred. They were granted permission from the Archbishop to perform another exorcism. The exorcism took place at the Alexian Brothers Hospital in St. Louis. Another priest, Walter Halloran, was called to the psychiatric wing of the hospital to assist Bowdern. And William Van Roo, a third priest, was also there to assist. Halloran stated that during this scene, various marks began to appear on the boy's body. Words like hell and evil. The boy's mattress allegedly began to shake and Ronald broke Halloran's nose. However, the exorcism was allegedly successful, and Halloran told a reporter that the boy went on to live a rather ordinary life. Number 2. Anneliese Mitchell. Anneliese was born in 1952 in Germany. Her family were strict Roman Catholics, and they all went to Mass twice a week. When she was 16, she suffered a severe convulsion and was diagnosed with temporal lobe epilepsy. In 1973, Anneliese graduated and went to university. Her classmates described her as withdrawn and very religious. In June 1970, Anneliese suffered a seizure while staying in a psychiatric hospital. She was prescribed anti-convulsion drugs for the first time, including Dilantin, which did not alleviate the problem. She began seeing devil faces during the day and was prescribed antipsychosis drugs. By 1973, Anneliese was suffering with severe depression and hallucinations, particularly while praying. She heard voices telling her she was damned and would rot in hell. None of the drugs or psychiatric treatment helped. She grew intolerant of Christian sacred places and objects such as her crucifix. Family and friends became convinced that she was suffering with demonic possession, and consulted with several priests to ask them for an exorcism. The priests declined, and recommended that they carry on with medical treatment for Anneliese, as only the bishop could grant permission to do an exorcism, and at that time, Anneliese didn't meet the strict criteria needed to be allowed one. The family didn't know what to do, as Anneliese only got worse and worse. She displayed aggression, self-harmed, drank her own urine, ate insects, and her voice changed to a low growling tone. They finally met a priest, Ernest Hoult, who upon seeing her, declared that she did not look like an epileptic, and believed that she was indeed suffering from demonic possession. He urged the local bishop, Joseph Stange, to allow an exorcism. The bishop agreed. Arnold Renz was the priest who performed the exorcism. What you are about to hear is the recording of that exorcism, performed on the 24th of September, 1975.
So Rosenkranz-Monat, weißt du ja, ne?
Ja,
Rosenkranz.
aber die wenigsten beten.
Die wenigsten.
Ja. Und in Kirche wird am allerwenigsten gebeten, weil die Herrn Pfarrer ja das für unmodern halten.
Ja.
Ja.
Alle?
Fast. Die sind ja so blöd, wenn sie eine Ahnung nicht haben.
Warum tust du die Rosenkranz?
Warum?
Ja, warum?
Weil.
Gib mir den Taufen.
Weil eine. Nein, ich sag's nicht.
Liquidiz oder Bebes?
Weil eine starke. Halt's Maul! Ja!
Weil eine starke Waffe ist.
Ja.
The exorcism was a failure. And Anneliese continued to get worse. Her parents stopped consulting doctors on her request, and relied solely on the exorcism rites. 67 exorcisms were performed on Anneliese over a period of 10 months, each lasting up to 4 hours. Eventually, Anneliese refused to eat, and on July 1, 1976, she sadly died in her home. The autopsy report stated that Anneliese had died from malnutrition and dehydration. The state charged Anneliese's parents and the priest with negligent homicide. They were found guilty, but were given no jail time. Number 3. Emma Schmidt. Emma was born in Wisconsin in 1882. Her parents were German immigrants and she was raised Catholic. She began exhibiting signs of possession in her adolescence, demonstrating revulsion towards holy objects and places. People close to Emma believed that the source of her possession was her Aunt Mina, a reputed local witch, who placed spells on herbs, which she would prepare Emma's food with. In 1912, Emma underwent an exorcism by Father Theophilus Ryesinger, a monk from the community of St. Anthony's in Wisconsin. Little was documented concerning this initial exorcism, however, no one was asked to do another one on Emma for over 2 decades. In the summer of 1928, Ryesinger was asked to perform a second exorcism on Emma. This time, she was taken to a convent to have it performed. She reportedly exhibited numerous symptoms such as fits of rage and hissing like a cat. The exorcism was allegedly violent, with Emma levitating, howling, and hanging from the frame of the doorway. The session lasted 8 days, followed by 2 more equally long sessions. This resulted in the deterioration of Emma's body, as she refused to eat, and vomited a foul debris containing what appeared to be tobacco leaves. Her head, lips, and face reportedly swelled, and she was also able to speak in multiple languages unknown to her. It was believed that Emma was possessed by Judas Iscariot, as well as Jacob, her own father, who had cursed her with the help of her Aunt Mina, for refusing his sexual advances during her childhood. On December 23, the final day of the exorcism, Father Ryesinger commanded the demons in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, through the intercession of the Blessed Virgin Mary, to depart to hell. Emma collapsed on her bed and began to shriek Beelzebub, Judas, Jacob, Mina, followed by, hell, hell, hell. She opened her eyes, and then spoke in her own voice, saying, "My Jesus, mercy, praised be Jesus Christ." The exorcism was reportedly successful, and Emma only experienced milder, and quite manageable possessions after that. So what do you think about these cases? Are they real? Could they be an elaborate hoax? Or do you think that mental illness is the cause of this phenomenon? Please leave a comment down below and share your opinion. And if you enjoyed this video, please support our channel by liking and clicking that subscribe button. We are aiming to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and we would be super grateful if you can help us reach our target. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.